There you see David Allen Moses. Game number 1 here from Del Fair Lanes, week 4, Hudy King of TV Bowling. And for the 4th straight week, Dave Newrath and Bo Hudy, we start off with 10 pins in the pit.
You're going to see a lot of that today. Tom, that man right there throws as strong a ball as you could hope for.
A couple of babes this week. 23-year-old David Moses, 22-year-old Greg Lothian. Greg we saw last year up at Pinhouse Lanes, as you call him, one of the young lions, and that looks like a pretty good ball, Dave.
Mr. Kim Herman's crowd is going to be rivaled here a little bit today. We got what do we have today? Lothian's
Lions.
Come on, come up with
Lothian's
something
Lions.
Here. You're good at these.
Herman's Hermits and Lothian's Lions. And while Bo did mention last week that the official term of Herman's following were the herd, I still like the Hermits, and I think so does Kim Herman.
That's right, and I
so
think your hat is beautiful.
The unofficial name will be Herman's Hermits on the air.
That's great.
Okay, Lothian leaving the 10 pin.
I tell you what, neither bowler throws a stronger ball than the other, but they're a little different. Greg, a little more speed, and we're going to see here why the little more speed could possibly get him in trouble. The deflection. Right here, if we get a shot at the ball entering the pins, right there you see a little deflection to the right and the 10 pin just wobbling.
No longer does it wobble, it's in the pit. So Greg Lothian picks up the spare in his second frame here in game number 1. David Allen Moses, 23-year-old from a Kentucky post carrier from Covington, Kentucky. 205 average and 1/300 game to his credit. And he's 11 strikes away from another one. Here on the TV King.
Make it 10. Well, he's been doing fairly well in the qualifiers. I know I crossed with him last week, and he was just awesome. That's about the only word I can come up with. How's he been doing from week to week?
He's had cashers every week. He's had an opportunity to bowl pretty much, and he has been really in the top almost every week, I'd say.
Yeah, a lot of people at home, it's not just the people you see on the air each and every week. You can make a little bit of spending change out there from week to week, Bo. What is it, 1 out of 6 cash?
1 out of every 4. 1 out of 4 cash.
1 out of...
How about
here's
the
a
mix
man
on
that's
those
going to cash.
pins? Yes. Mix on those pins were nice, as Dave Newrath likes to say. Every pin doing their job.
Gee, I love the way you say that, Tom.
Boy, the profound words. Greg Lothian. 22 years old, sales manager from Ball Shops. 4 300 games to his credit. He's been a one-time king on the TV King. Appeared once last year. Looks like he wants to appear a few more times this year.
That is absolutely great. Both bowlers right in the pocket every shot. Greg making a slight mistake in his release in the second frame. Otherwise, we'd be all tied up. As it is, Mr. Moses enjoys a 20-pin early lead.
Winner of this match, the Lothian Moses match, goes on to meet Roy Chesbro, another first-timer on the TV King, and then goes on to meet the winner, our only winner this year, 3 games, 3 wins, Kim Herman's Hermits Herman. How about that?
Well,
and how about that?
How about that? It's a 2, 4, 5, 8. The ball just did not finish, Tom. Left lane might have something to do with it. The extra revs that Mr. Moses gets can overpower some of the extra hold area. But Greg, both shots, 1 deflected weak. That ball did not get up. The 2, 4, 5, 8 difficult spot for most people.
4 right in the middle of that. Bo, we see the score. There's nothing but strikes up there for Mr. Moses.
20 pins. It's early, and 20 pins really isn't a lot to talk about, but it is in this man's advantage. David Moses would like to make it 30.
Oh, missed that one just a hair, Dave.
Ooh. He got a little anxious. Wanted to get up there and really put the hammer down on Mr. Lothian. And he, quite frankly, just threw the ball too hard, that's all.
17-year veteran of these lanes.
He's been bowling in our qualifiers for 6 years now, and so he is a veteran in the qualifiers, too.
After a while, I don't even think the lights bother you, although this is his first time on television for David Allen Moses. Can never think too far ahead, Bo, and they're already qualifying for next week, right?
They certainly are. We're at Kingpin Lanes today, and we have some leaders. Roy Chesbrough, who is going to bowl in our second match, is leading the pack with Kevin Hayes, who appeared a few weeks ago with the 724 series. Rick Martin, who used to be executive director of the BPA some years ago, has a 702, is sitting third. 599's cashing for the men, and we have a new lady, Sue Decatur, has a 569 series leading the women, and 549's cashing for the girls.
Always nice to see new people on there. How about this one, Dave?
Watch this shot. Absolutely awesome. The 9-pin, second one in the back. The ball's going to go to the left. Watch the reaction right here. The ball just misses the 9-pin. David says, what in the world do you have to do around here?
Takes it out on the right side. Not enough menthol on that first ball, Dave. Oh, they are up and on their feet for Greg Lothian.
Well, we've got a great crowd here today. It's we've packed them in here. Del Fair has traditionally been a good house to bring the crowds out, but today better than usual.
34 lanes, 2 of them really getting a workout today. Greg Lothian in frame number 5. Strike, spare, strike, spare, strike. It looks like a pattern for Greg Lothian here in the 5th frame.
Well, that's what you're going to see a lot of times. The bowlers, and during the qualifiers too, we should explain that we move from pair to pair. You do not bowl all 3 games on the same pair as you do in league. You move, and the bowler who makes the adjustment the quickest, moving from pair to pair, normally throws the higher score. Greg Lothian better make an adjustment on this left lane right now if he wants to give David Moses any kind of a shot at all. He's 17 pins in the well.
Try to take a little niche out of that right here. Oh,
make it 7.
Just another day at the office. Lothian, by the way, if you happen to watch Steve Cook win the U.S. Open yesterday, Lothian last year finished 26th, which is not too shabby. Because let me tell you, there were quite a few Cincinnati bowlers, which made me proud this week down there.
Yeah, Mr. Scudder for one.
This is going to go right to the wire.
Oh, you can bet your bottom dollar.
That's about as clean as you can say it on TV.
The match, 7 pins right now. Moses can increase his lead back up to 17 if he strikes again. But anything less than 10 pins, less than a mark count, becomes the situation. Greg Lothian is finally lined up on the left lane. David Moses looks lined up all over.
Boy, he doesn't give those pins a chance. And he said right there, in your face, pins.
Well, Mr. Moses gets an excited look on his face. He wants, look at the bottom of the swing. He just went for all of it. Now, head pin, center your screen. What's it do? Straight back. Throws the 2-pin into the wall this time to do the damage. Greg Lothian's got to get on the truck right here. 17 pins.
I have a feeling even if his ball were to go in the channel, the wind would knock the 10 pins down. Here's Lothian, 6th frame.
Absolutely great. What a match.
3 straight for Greg Lothian.
The lead cut again back to 7 pins. Greg Lothian can technically take an advantage here by striking in the 8th frame, can go into the lead by 3. But remember, it's been the lane he just got lined up on. Can he execute again? The big question. He is concentrating. He really, really wants this shot. First time in the match, he's got a chance to lead, Tom.
8th frame, Greg Lothian. Oh, couldn't get that 1 pin to roll across.
Too much deflection on the ball, but he's still in the match going in. The critical 9th and 10th frames coming up. That's where it's normally decided on BPA King of Bowling.
Last week I mentioned we saw Greg Lothian in the pin house with Greg Carpenter and Tucky Perez. How about a week that one was? A lot of pinfall then. Lothian takes out the 10 in the 8th frame. And Dave, this gets closer and closer. It hinges on David Moses here. If he could put 10 in the pit, who knows?
Well, you're talking 8 pins up there right now, and 8 pins is next to nothing.
Push, just wouldn't go. The 7-pin stands.
Oh, I'm telling you, watching him last week when I qualified with him, that was the hit that was his bread and butter shot. He seems to be losing that hit a little bit today.
He usually throws the 5-pin a little stronger over towards the 7, doesn't he?
There you go. The opponent, the 7-pin.
7-pin.
The competitor, David Moses. No contest.
It's over. Of course,
It's over is right.
Of course, we wouldn't be coming to you if we didn't have a gracious sponsor like Hudy, and we have some of those sponsors taking a look here at Del Fair, Bo.
We certainly do. Bob Casey, Al Ketchero, and Ken Rippinger are here from the Hudy Brewery, and our friend Nancy Schreiber and her husband were kindly here early this morning to deliver some of the nice sponsor gifts that they're giving out at the show.
I notice there's always a line to receive sponsored gifts.
There certainly is. It's really a nice addition to the audience.
It certainly is. There's Dave Moses. Another strike.
I tell you what, this is the ball. Okay, 5-pin, center your screen, second one back, watch it. This pin develops teeth. Left, you betcha. Right there it touches, and the 5-pin, right there into the 7. No contest. The critical 9th frame strike keeps David Moses in the lead.
Greg Lothian says he's not going to let it get away.
Through his first bad shot of the match. He needed it, critical 9th frame to cut the lead down. What's he do? He throws the ball through the nose, fortunate enough to break down the split, leaving a 6. Should shoot this cross lane, flatten the ball out a little bit, and let your arm swing, take the ball right at the pin.
And he did. Textbook what Dave Nuraz says. A spare in the 9th frame for Greg Lothian.
We had some fantastic scores last week here at Del Fair Lanes. I'll run them down real quick. The 5th position was Alan Downs with 724.
He was our king weeks 1 and 2 last year.
He did a super job. 716 for Bob Ecton. Derek Hayes, 707. We got a bunch of 700s up there. There you go.
There's 10. 10th frame.
Okay, this is it. 9th frame is critical, but so is this. If he gets a double here, he can come up and take the lead. He rolls the ball well, skids out a little bit longer than what he anticipated, but it finishes hard. Head pin going to the wall, kicking the 4 into the 5, and then finishing out the 7. This is it. Critical shot.
22-year-old Greg Lothian from Reading, Ohio.
He can take the lead with this strike.
Dave, when you talked about revs, you weren't kidding one little bit.
I mean to tell you, well, what this does, this absolutely forces David Moses to throw the first one in the 10th to win. A count is critical here, however. Greg Lothian needs them all.
As David Moses can do nothing right now but watch and decide how he's going to bowl when he gets up there. Oh, how about that? Crushing them. Not just knocking the pins down, but crushing them. Greg Lothian. So you want to set this one up? What does David Moses have to do, Dave?
Gee, let me check. How about throw 10 pins
times
in the vertical position? Yes. Absolutely has to have this strike for any chance of winning.
228 for Lothian.
It's wide.
Well,
if you're going to make a mistake there, Tom, let me point out, that is less of a mistake, if you want to look at it that way, than throwing the ball right through the nose. With David Moses' power, he has a chance to bring the ball back. That time, it didn't work out. Next time, he probably won't throw it as wide.
Right. He takes out 2 of the 3 and puts the handwriting on the wall for Greg Lothian. Greg Lothian comes out a winner in game number 1. Here in week number 4 of Hudy's TV King of Bowling. And as you see the score, 228.